It's Erin at the Little Urban Farm. I'm today working on the okra. So I was poking around and I saw that, believe it or not, you can trim your okra and it's supposed to make it much easier to find, which if you've ever grown it, you know that's one of the hardest things is that you can't find them, they get really long, and then you can't use them. So today I thought I would show you what I learned, and we're gonna try it. We're gonna see how well it does. Now you can see behind me, these plants are pretty big. They're, they're about up to my chest here. So they have really gotten big. They have been producing a little bit. So now is a good time to try to go ahead and do this before they get really out of control, because they can get really, really tall. So, and I also can talk to you about how to pick okra, because not everybody knows that, and I want you to be able to use your okra, and sometimes people let it go too long and then it's woody and chewy and you won't want it. You want to pick it when it's young. So let me show you. All right, so I don't have a ton in here, unless they're hiding, which does happen. You can see each one of these has a couple of very little ones. That's really small. So we'll leave that. That is a flower there that is closed. We've got a flower there that's closed with a lot of little buds and things on it. Oh, there's one that's too big. Haha. See that right there? That guy's a little bit too big and is probably very tough. Now, if you first pick them when they're like that, you still can sometimes get away with it. If you chop them up, they can still be tender, but if you let it sit, a lot of times that doesn't work. So let me go ahead and show you compared to this other one. So ideally, you want to pick your okra between 2 and 3 inches. This one is, 3 inches would be about there. So we're looking at 3.5, 4 inches on this one. This one here, quite a bit smaller. It's going to be a lot more tender. So you actually want to pick it more when it's like that size. So we'll go ahead and pick that guy. But the trimming is going to be done for this very reason, because they hide. They hide very well in all this brush and you don't see them, and then that happens. Well, what I was looking at online, you basically trim all the lower leaves, and then that exposes the plant. You kind of keep clipping up to where the fruit starts. So like this one here, you would go all the way up and clip all these off. So I don't know, we're gonna try this. We're gonna go ahead and do it. Trimming, I am a big fan of, because it just means that your plant can concentrate its energy towards fruit production. So let's give this a shot. I'm gonna start right here at this one in the front. There's a lot of littler leaves here at the bottom. I'm using some sterilized shears and I am just cutting off all the way up to the top of the plant. So up here is just the crown. This one doesn't have anything on it. It's a little bit smaller, so that one's a little bit easier to manage, but let's move over here. So right here is where there was an okra at one point. Here's another one that I've already pulled off, because you can see the little bitty stem. And what they said was, when you take your okra, take the leaf with it. And that makes a lot of sense. Now this one looks like this has gone off in a couple different directions. So this has 3 main stems, but you know what? There's a lot of okra on it. So I think I'm gonna leave this one alone. We'll trim the bottom leaves as we were advised. But I'm gonna leave the 3 stems. So now just the tops are exposed up here. Here's another one. And see, even on some of them, this one fell right off anyway. It was way at the bottom. A lot of the nutrients was probably being sucked right away from it. This is gonna allow a lot more light to get down in here too. And will also probably help with some pest control. So the pests love to get in where, there's a lot of leaves covering them so that they're safe from birds and other things. It's how they're able to get in and lay their eggs and do their stuff. So getting more air And light down in here, always a good thing. So here you can kind of see what I've done. This one here, see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 main leaves here. Let me do that and you can see. And the one behind it is the one that branched off into 3, but each of the 3 main branches I kind of kept to just the top few. Now obviously I have a lot more in here to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the camera and do that and show you when I'm done. Remember I said they hide as I'm trimming. Look at that. I would have left him and then he probably would have been too big. That's probably okay. This one's about 3 inches here. And according to the videos, what they said to do here is, this leaf will stay out of the way, go ahead and cut it right here with the leaf and the okra. Cut them both. Just like that. And now the next okra up should be on the next leaf set. And once that one's big enough, you'll do the same thing. You'll cut this with the leaf. And that way you can kind of track up the plant where your okra pods are. All right, look how much more air is in there. That's really gonna help some of these smaller plants, I think. I think they're gonna get a little bit more sun now. Maybe they'll shoot up like the ones in the middle. These ones on the end were the ones that the deer had nibbled on, so I think they got stunted to begin with. This one too, all 3 along the edge here. They're a little bit shorter, but look at that though. Wow, this one here is really big, and this had a couple of stalks coming off of it that looked to be starting to produce. You know, that looks like the beginnings of some flowers and fruit sets, so I left that because I want as much okra as possible. So I'm really hoping that this helps. I know with tomatoes, I've seen a difference. So I go through and I trim. I've never trimmed the okra, so this will be fun to see how it does. Those are all the leaves that we trimmed off. So anyway, thank you for joining me tonight. This was a short one. I just was really excited to try that. My sun is starting to go down and today is like over 100 degrees. So it's kind of insane out here. I'm gonna go ahead and go inside and cool down after I dispose of my leaves in the burn pile. And yeah, if you have experience with this, share your experience. I'd love to know if you've increased your yield this way, if you've found that this helps your plants grow better. So it's something that I am definitely excited about.